A memorial has been set up for Brown at the spot where the incident happened, with a vigil planned for later tonight. Well, City Council held their last meeting of June today. The agenda had a wide range of items, including approving 2 full-time school resource officers to start in September. Brittany Matika has more from City Hall.
Today's City Council met and a variety of topics were on the agenda, including approving a 5-year funding plan to provide 2 full-time school resource officers to be in our schools here in the border city, as well as approving an emergency replacement of a baffin curtain at the city's wastewater treatment plant.
Student resource officer is going to be such an essential and crucial part of our education systems for our community. With so many calls, 182 calls last year getting called into the school system are some of the statistics, and that's taking a plain officer off the street that should be doing other things.
Information was brought forward to Council today that the city's wastewater treatment plant requires immediate action, and Council approved the $120,000 for the replacement of the baffin curtain.
And rather than have the ability to literally circle and diffuse, is what it's supposed to do, it's passing almost immediately through that cell. So it's not doing what it needs to do. There's microbes and bacteria that do a lot of work.
We'll have more information about these items coming up later in the week. Brittany Matika, Newcap News.
Well, Olive Tree staff members were smiling thanks to a further generosity from the Fred North Charitable Foundation in the form of a $44,000 donation. And this will go a long way towards helping with mortgage payments in the next few years.
Having this community center is such a big deal, and being able to know that we are slowly working down the debt is just, it's amazing.
North donated $150,000 to the Olive Tree last year, which paved the way to purchasing the new building.
They got a great thing going here, really well managed. Becky and her crew and all the volunteers do a heck of a job and fill a big gap in Lloyd, and so I think it's a super thing.
The Olive Tree held a Southern barbecue fundraiser Saturday, coinciding with Street Fest. Archbishop Richard Smith visited the Catholic schools in Lloydminster today. Our Brett Holden was there and has this story.
Catholic schools in the border city had a special guest to speak to and hang out with the students on Monday.
And we have within that territory almost 200 Catholic schools. And so a few years ago I made a commitment to try and visit all of them. That's going to take a little while to do it. Today here is the Lloydminster opportunity to visit the schools. They've got it very well organized and orchestrated, one school after the other.
Archbishop Smith visited 6 schools in the district, including St. Joseph Elementary, St. Mary's Elementary, and Holy Rosary School. And the school district says that it's important for students to meet with the Archbishop.
It's the connection between being able to talk about what Catholic schools are about from all sides. That it's not just about education, but it's also about how we care for the students that parents entrust us with.
And the students had a message for Archbishop Smith as well.
God bless you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. But the reason that I do this is I like to get into the schools so that firsthand I can see, first of all, what's the reality with the kids, all right? What are they learning, but also what are they experiencing, and how can I as the Archbishop, and therefore how can the church walk with them and help them and so on.
Brett Holden, Newcap News.
Well, Local Girl is back from a trip to Ottawa in late April with a new outlook on what it means to be Canadian. Rihanna McCaffrey joined nearly 200 other youth in the nation's capital as part of Rotary's Adventure in Citizenship program. Participants got to tour the Parliament building and interact with other youth from across Canada, helping enlighten them on what qualities make up a Canadian citizen.
To be a global inspirational, is just in the fairness, and especially with the work that Rotary does, it's been really inspiring just to show the good that you can do, and that's what I think being Canadian is about, just being better.
The experience was particularly special for McCaffrey, who only moved to Canada from Ireland 5 years ago and is currently in the process of gaining a Canadian citizenship of her own.
With coming up to my citizenship ceremony this year, it's been really important to see more of Canada because I hadn't really left Alberta, Saskatchewan to see anything, and then to meet people from all over Canada was amazing.
McCaffrey addressed and thanked Rotary members on Monday for sponsoring her experience. Well, Street Fest took place for the 9th time over the weekend, drawing thousands of people to downtown Lloydminster. And in this week's retrospect, Josh Ryan looks at how the spirit of the event remains the same despite changes to downtown and throughout the border city.
Summer might officially be several days away, but you wouldn't have known it by the scene on the streets of Lloydminster. Sunshine baked folks of all ages as they ambled the streets, serenaded by local musicians.
And it's a great day for Lloydminster, and I was so happy to see the sunshine at 6:30 this morning.
As striking as the family-oriented nature of the event, the multiculturalism that was on display.
Yes, we have some Peruvian dancers, we've had belly dancers, we've had Afro-Caribbean dancers, and they're coming on again. We also have the Malanka dancers who were able to fit us into their schedule. We also have vocalists in all different cultures, all different genres and languages.
With something for virtually everyone, including animal lovers, barbecue fans, or just those wanting to cool off on a hot day, the fest picked up on the momentum of its inaugural year.
Last year we did Street Fest and it was a great success. This year we knew we had to pull it in, get everybody involved so that everybody could feel a part of our community and really learn to appreciate our downtown core.
In its 9th year, Street Fest remains a staple of summer kickoff in the border city, and it continues to grow.
Last year we had around 6,000 people, and I think that we've surpassed that this year. You see everybody from seniors to kids. This event just hits everybody. There's something for everyone.
That growth is particularly visible in multiculturalism and art, the latter thanks to the collaboration with Arts Beyond Borders.
We'd like to be able to bring some hands-on crafts that all the folks can participate in when they stop by.
This year's community project, String Art.
So we have different shapes set out with nails and boards, and our visitors have been stopping by to fill in the project with some strings.
With the downtown Lloydminster Business Improvement District dissolving and becoming an advisory board to the city, this marks the beginning of a new era for Street Fest, but one intending to keep providing families with a memorable experience every year.
The city's been a big help this year. They're going to be taking over the event for next year as well.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
This is Newcap Sports.
2017 was one of Lloydminster Comprehensive's best years on the football field. Although a provincial final didn't finish with a goal, there's no denying the program's progress, and it finished with a very deserving award. Lance Phillips has this.
Since becoming the head coach of Barons football in 2014, Aaron Harper has had his share of success and disappointment. Disappointment in the form of missed opportunities in Wheatland Football League championships, but success in the form of developing the program into a Tier 2 force, and in 2017, reaching a provincial final. At Football Alberta's recent Senior Bowl, Harper was finally recognized for all he's done when he became the recipient of the Laurie Robertson Memorial Tier 2 High School Coach of the Year.
Yeah, it was nice to be recognized, but I've said it all along, like you wouldn't get an award like that if you didn't win a lot of games, and we won a lot of games because we had a really good coaching staff and had really good players. So I think it's an award just as much for them as it is for an individual award for me.
Without question, there's more to a team than just the head coach. But Harper's players are well aware of exactly what Football Alberta saw in their leader.
I just think that they saw just how long he's been here, and that it only took him that amount of time to take our team to the provincial final. And I think that's just awesome for him to get that recognition because he put in a lot of work.
He's been huge. He's a great inspiration, and he makes us from football players into extremely great men, and I'm very thankful for him. And I'm going to miss him quite a lot, and I'm super happy for all that he's done for the school, and I hope he continues to do more for the comp here.
The road to further success never really ends, but it's impressive what Harper's been able to do in a short amount of time with the local school.
He's done a lot coming in. This is his 4th year, and being to 3 WFL championships and 1 provincial final, that's huge. That's something some coaches don't really get a chance to do, and he was able to come in and turn the program around from what it was.
It's all a culmination of a lot of hard work over the last 4 or 5 years, and again, we're starting to see some of the hard work pay off with some of the awards we're winning and some of the guys that are playing on provincial teams and, playing in a provincial final last year. So, we just got to keep grinding, keep at it for the next few years, and hopefully we can keep getting better and better.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.